Okay. So, if it really was automatic, right, would we still see them every few weeks and every few months trying to pitch you on buying an expensive system? All right. So I'm so sorry to tell you this. It doesn't really exist. And if they tell you it's automatic, hands off, you can relax, and everything's going to run on autopilot, then you need to turn in the opposite direction of them. Okay. Now, this is something that I work on every day, and I have been since about 2005. And comparing today versus 15 years ago, or more than 15 years, is very different. Now, in fairness and in transparency, I have to let you know that I've never had anything go viral because my strategy is targeted, specific, and laser focused. Now, then I asked myself, hey, Chris, would you like to go viral? And the answer is sure, who wouldn't, right? But I'm proof that you don't need to go viral to be successful. What we're looking for is consistency and longevity. All right, so let's get on with this, shall we? The first promise I'm going to make to you is you don't need to believe everything that you hear from me. You don't need to say to yourself, I like and trust Chris, even though I'm quite likable, right? I'm going to prove I'm going to prove everything that I share with you today, and I think that's fair. If we can agree on that, then great. And so let's begin. All right. So the first thing that I wanna bring to your attention is this. Okay, if what you're doing right now is working, you would already have an abundance of clients and sales. What do I mean by abundance? Abundance means overflowing a lot, too many clients, right? Let me ask you this: does anybody have too many clients right now? Anybody? I don't see any hands going up, so I would assume that we're all looking for more clients. So let me change the question. Who would like to have a more consistent flow of leads, inquiries that turn into clients? Just raise your hand or give me a thumbs up. Okay. One thumbs up, no, yes. Okay, awesome. Dorothy, great. All right. So if you're not online, okay, you got to get online. Now, you don't have to be great, you just have to start. And that's the problem with a lot of people. Fear is the problem, right? Fear of what? Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of looking stupid, right? And it's hard. Let me see what this is real quick. Okay, awesome. Okay, so it's hard not to feel stuck. During these times, especially during these uncertain times that we're all going through right now, right? And I feel what you feel, but you got to understand one thing. In the end, nobody remembers failures. Everybody remembers success. Okay, and failure is only failure if you stop or you give up. All right. One of the things that I like to say is, when you're getting hit with obstacles, when you're getting hit with challenges, right? Don't quit. Just rest. Now, what if you're already online? If you're already online, then what you need to do is you need to get better at it and get it done right. Okay. So some clients ask me, "Hey, Chris, can I get leads, prospects, and sales from Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn?" My answer is this. My answer is very simple. My answer is, if you're not doing it, you're not going to get any. If you're not going to do it right and have a system and have a process, you either won't get any. You either won't get any, or you're going to get very little. Now, if you do it right, is it guaranteed? I'm telling you, it's not, because things change all the time. But if you do it right, the probability of getting leads and prospects and clients is way, way, way higher. Now, maybe we say to ourselves, I want to build a digital business system, right? Uh, I want to have an online marketing funnel. so that you can have predictable income each and every month. If you want to do that, you need a system. And one of the things, another one of the things that I say is, you don't need talent. I know it sounds weird. You don't need talent to do this. What you need is skills and a system, and the make the decision to hit it constantly and consistently every single day. So I'm going to share a very simple system that I've been using for many, many years. And this same system has saved me from, from the uncertainty, the economy, and dare I say this word, this pandemic. All right. Now, I want to share this with you. This is some of the comments our clients sent to me. So if you look at the screen, they say, hey, we got leads coming in, and they break down the leads. All right. Now you have to understand that not every lead is going to become a client. Not every lead is going to become interested. Not every lead is going to answer the phone, and that's why we need an abundance. An abundance means you have a lot. All right. One of the things that you want to avoid one of the things that you want to avoid is one client, one deal, one meeting. Because what if that one client, that one deal, that one meeting doesn't get you revenue? Then then you're screwed, right? So we must have abundance and consistency. All right. I I'll share a little bit about myself. Um, but I'll go through this very quickly. I watch and do a lot of research on other gurus, and this is the part where the what's that term they use? The fake gurus, right? So this is the part where they say this is the bullshit backstory. All right, but I'm going to go through this very quickly. All right, so what you see on the screen there is me as a kid. In the bottom left of the screen is my dad. My dad's American. My mom is Chinese. And growing up was a bit hard because my dad passed away when I was about 7 years old, and so my mom brought my brother and I. She raised us, right? And we went through some tough times growing up. Got into a lot of trouble in school. Didn't do well at school, and we often didn't have enough money to buy the things that we wanted or do the things that we wanted. Now, I'm not complaining. Others have had a harder life than me, and but when you're going through it, it's just not fun. So when I was growing up, I managed to complete my O levels. That's like high school. I passed my A levels. That's like junior college. But my results were not good enough for a job, so I found a job at a polymer factory. The polymer factory is like they make those silica beads. The beads that you find in like shoes to draw out the moisture. And my job was to carry 25 kg bags of powder and chemicals up and down the factory. So I did that for about 8 months, and then I joined the army. So it was a very fun time for me. It was very enjoyable for me. So my contract was for 6 years, and as a commando officer, I learned many things that gave me the foundation for the rest of my life. Uh, things like discipline, determination, adapting and overcome situations, among others. Now, when my contract was up, I floated around for a little bit, and then I decided to move to San Diego. So I went to San Diego because I had an uncle there who owned a ranch in a tiny town called Ramona. So if you look on the left side of the screen, that's the welcome to the town, and then on the bottom left, that's the road going to the town. That's how big the town was. So my uncle owned a farm, and so I became I became a farmer, right? Actually, I thought I was going to be a cowboy, but I was just like the ranch helper, the guy that carried everything and cleaned everything. So at this point, I was a bad student, a factory worker, soldier, and now I was a ranch helper. So this was something that I didn't really really like. So I started looking for something else, and so my uncle introduced me to the guy that owned a company called Big O Tires, and I interviewed there. So I thought I'd be branch manager or supervisor, right? But no, I got hired as one of the guys that changed the tires, and I kind of liked the job. So if you look on the right side of your screen, that's one of the stores. I liked the job until one day they said, "Hey, you know what? We need to advertise more." And so when they say advertise more, the idea was to bring all the tires from the storeroom and display it on the side of the road. And so we had to make 64 piles of four tires each. And the guy whose job it was to bring all of that out in the morning and put them all back in at the end of the day, that was me. And so after a few days of this, right, I was aching all over. My body was all aching, and I said to myself, I don't want to do this anymore. And that's when my eyes opened up, and I made the decision that I wasn't happy or satisfied. Um, you must understand this. If you want more, let me ask you this question. Okay, you can answer. You can answer yes. You can answer yes in the chat, or you can answer no in the chat, or you can just raise your hand if the answer is yes. All right. Um, are you happy with your current results? Yes or no? Okay. Okay. You see, if you're not happy with your current results, your current situation, and your current comfort level, you must you must change. All right. If you're comfortable, if you're happy with your current situation, your current results, you're not going to change. So you must be unhappy with your current income, your current revenue, your current situation. If you're unhappy, then you will change. All right. So I was unhappy with what I was doing at that moment, and I said, I'm tired of doing this, and that's when I looked at doing something else, and that's how I joined, the sales industry. I was 25 years old. I joined the sales industry, and I did very well, but I didn't do well in the beginning. It was only when I learned how to sell and I learned how to market, that's when my income shot up. When I was 25 years old, this was in 1995. That tells you how old I am, right? When I was 25 in 1995, I worked at my first sales job. I made 93,000 US dollars at the age of 25 in 1995, and my income went up after that. And so I was looking at a few things. And so I was happy for a number of years. And then I said, you know what? I want more now, right? And that's when I decided to, start my business and entrepreneurship journey. This was in 1998. My eldest daughter was born in 1998, and that's when I started my company. All right. I started my entrepreneurship journey in the spare bedroom of my apartment in San Diego, and I was cold calling and selling like a madman. And because I was taking all this massive action and doing it consistently every day, I was cold calling 6 days a week. All right, literally almost 6 or 7 hours a day, and I generated enough business. And 4 months later, I opened up my office and I started hiring and I started training my team, and they were able to do what I was able to do and accomplish those kinds of sales results. Now, 23 years later, I have offices in 3 countries, clients in over 14 countries. Okay, so uh, back in 2005, I started looking at internet and social media. We didn't really call it social media really back then. It was like Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, things like that. Google listings. So we started social media and online marketing back in about 2000, late 2004, 2005. And but we were only doing it for ourselves. We were only doing it to generate leads, generate clients, right? And we got so good at it that 1.5 to 2 years later, we started offering it as a service to our clients, and then from there we expanded out, and we started getting clients calling us. We got clients from I was in San Diego, and we focused on the San Diego area first. But we started getting clients from UK, Russia, and the rest of the US. So if we talk about if we talk about internet marketing, if we talk about social media, we talk about online marketing. I've been doing this for, probably about 15, 16 years, and it's changed so much in the last 15 or 16 years. Um, but we have to adapt, all right? But the core of the activities that we do, it hasn't changed, all right? Now, don't think of social media and online marketing, as the answer to all your problems. All right, because I have to give you a warning. Don't let go of other marketing channels, and I'll explain what I mean in a bit. All right, I want to make a promise to you. What I'm going to share with you today is relevant, timely, and valuable. There's no hard selling. There's no non-stop product pitch. In fact, I'll share a service that we offer at the end of our session. Okay, and if you want to take me up on the offer, it's a very simple thing. I'm not going to talk and pitch for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. It's a very very I'll make an offer to you, and it'll just take a few minutes. If you choose to take me up on it, you just let me know. And if you don't, hey, you know what? You can do everything that I share with you today on your own. All right. Now we need to understand. We need to understand that just being online is not the answer. Okay, it's just being online is not the answer. I mean, pretty much all of us are online, right? Show of hands if you're already online. Okay, just raise your hand if you are. And being online can be something simple as posting on Facebook, or you have an Instagram account, you got email that you send out, and we all have WhatsApp, right? So I mean, pretty much all of us are online. Okay, we post ads, we post content, we run ads, but we're just not getting enough. Now you have to remember this: buyers are always buying, and sellers are always selling. What does that mean? It means that in any economy, whether it's up or down, pandemic or not, whatever you're selling, somebody is buying it. All right. And what we need to do is we need to adapt and revolutionize what we do online to attract the buyers, because there's already buyers out there. And if you don't attract those buyers, your competition will attract them. We must we must attract them so that we can sell to them. All right. And to do this right, we need to combine online and offline marketing strategies. You must increase your marketing efforts. I did not say increase your marketing budget, but you must have a marketing budget. All right. You must increase your marketing efforts both online and offline. That is the answer. Okay. Um, Now, let me ask you a question. By raising your hand or just saying me, M-E, right? Who here has been doing okay before COVID-19? Who is here? Who was doing like somewhat okay? Just raise your hand or just say me. No, nobody? Okay. So, but most of the clients that I talked to, they were doing somewhat okay. All right. Let's see. Dorothy said was doing well. Okay, good. So COVID-19, it hit all of us really hard, right? Now me, as a company, last year we had several huge deals lined up in March, April, and May. We're talking 250, 280,000. All right, so we had all those deals lined up. All right, and then it went away. All right, it went away because everybody got scared, at that price point, right? But instead of crying, panicking, and stressing too much, of course we did, right? But instead of doing that too much, we focus on marketing to the right targets during those times. And we didn't rely on just one or two marketing streams. We focused on several, okay, both online and offline. Now, I run several companies under our group in US, Malaysia, and Philippines, and I'll give you an example. During that time, for one of our products, we used to get 10 to 12 leads a week. All right. We would normally close, 50 to 70%. All right, the price point was about 1,000 USD, and in the when we retooled our marketing, we managed to get it dropped from 10 to 12. It dropped to about 4 or 5 leads a week. So the second week that we started running our marketing, we managed to get 4 leads. These are buyers that are buying. Okay, buyers that are buying, and so we managed to get in front of them, and we closed 3. Okay, now of those 4 leads that we got, 3 were from digital marketing efforts and 1 from offline strategies. The interesting part is the 3 sales that we got, right? So we got 4 leads and we closed 3. All right, 3 from online, 1 from offline. So we closed 3 deals. And out of the 3 deals that we closed, we, 2 were from online, but we still had to use offline techniques to close the deal. It's not an automatic process. It's not a make money while you sleep. I'll adjust that to, um, you can make money while you sleep, in the sense that leads are still coming in, so that you can talk to them during business hours, or whenever you're working, right? So earlier I asked, what is it that you guys do, right? What is your product and service? And your answers are correct. That is your product and service, and that is what you do. But we must think of ourselves. We must think of ourselves as marketers and sellers. I talked to so many business owners, over the last several months. The ones that don't do well, they say things like, in fact, I'll give you an example. One was an executive chef and got retrenched. All right, ended up selling marinated meat from home. So she created this recipe, and she packaged it. I mean, it looked good and it tasted good. I tasted it also, right? But sales were little to none. So what I did was I advised her to focus on marketing, focus on her digital sales funnel. And she said, no, no, you know what? I need to expand my range of food. Okay. So she started with lamb and chicken, and she couldn't sell those. Okay. And then she increased her range to beef and I think fish as well. And then it still wasn't selling. Now I was not involved with her, consulting her. I was trying to get her as a client because I was telling her, hey, you know what? Stop spending money on R&D. You can do that later. Focus on your lamb and chicken. Let's get some sales in first, right? She said, no, I must have a range. Okay. So she increased it from the lamb and chicken, and then to beef, and then fish, and then it still wasn't selling. And then she said, you know what? I'm going to add wagyu beef now. Very expensive, right? Wagyu beef. All right. So she spent all this money on packaging, and getting the recipes, and R&D, and then on the inventory. And wagyu beef is expensive. And then what she did was she expanded her range of products, right? And she still couldn't sell those. Focus on marketing and selling, because nobody is attracted to the range of products that you have. People are attracted if you solve a problem, and you can fulfill their needs and their requirements. All right. Let's talk about the sales funnel. There are some fundamentals in a sales funnel, and so these are the 6 basic ones that we need. Okay, the first is, of course, you must have a product. You see, all of us in business, you need 2 things. You need 2 things to succeed. You need 2 things to achieve revenue, achieve sales, achieve success. You only need 2 things. And the beautiful part, every single one of us here already has one part of it. All right, that one part is, you must have a product or service to sell. And I think all of us have that. Yes, raise your hand if it's yes. Yes, yes. Okay. The second thing that we need, which is crucial, okay, the second thing that we need that is crucial is somebody to sell to. So we already have the first half of the equation. The second half of the equation is, okay, we have something to sell and we need to sell to somebody. So the fundamentals in your sales funnel start with the product. Okay, we gotta list out the benefits, the challenges, the problems that you solve with your product or service, right? Then the next part is how you post and how you do ads and how you get traffic. Traffic is extremely important, but what is even more important is the right kind of traffic. If let's say you sell, let's say your product is your target market is let's say the 40 to 50 years old demographic, all right? But all you get are 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds calling you or saying, "Hey, what's this?" Right? That's not your targeted demographic. Yes, you're getting traffic, but you're getting the wrong kind of traffic. Now, I'll talk about certain kinds of buyers that you come across in your online journey in a while. All right. The next is the copywriting. Copywriting is so important because copywriting persuades the person looking at your post, at your ad, or your landing page or your email. The copywriting persuades them to take the next step. Okay, persuades them to take some kind of action. And then you have your sales process. Your sales process could be, what you do at certain points of the conversation. Anybody know what CTA is? What is CTA? You can just shout it out, or you can type it in the chat. What is CTA? Okay, one. Yes, Dorothy, is call to action. Call to action. Let me ask you this, Dorothy. What does call to action really mean? Does anybody know what call to action means? Yes, no. Okay, call to action. A lot of sellers think the call to action is closing the deal, right? Yes, closing the deal is one of the things that can be done under the call to action, but it could also be as simple as raising the hand, answering a question, putting in your email, and I'll cover what the other things that come under the CTA. Follow up. Follow up is so important. Okay, I've I've spoken to literally hundreds of thousands. Well, maybe exaggeration, right? But dozens and dozens of thousands, over the last decade of professionals, business owners. When I ask this question, okay, let me ask you this question. When you get an inquiry, you have a conversation with them, maybe you do a presentation, or you send some info to them, and you know that you have to follow up with them in, let's say, a few days or a week. We understand what follow up is, right? Okay, so uh, we know what follow up is. We know that follow up is important. So I talk to business owners, I talk to top entrepreneurs, and I say, is follow up important? And they say, yes, follow up is important. Do you all agree follow up is important? Yes, no? Just raise your hand or give me a thumbs up, or just say yes in the chat if you agree that follow up is important. It's a must, correct? All right. We all agree that follow up is extremely important. But let me ask you this question. This one you don't need to answer except in your head. Do you have a proper follow up system? Okay. 80 to 90% of the entrepreneurs, business owners, professionals that I talk to, they say, yes, we know follow up. Yes, follow up is very important. Do you do follow up? We try. Okay. Follow up is where the money is made. Okay, follow up can be an offline and online strategy. All right. Now, let's look at platforms for traffic. Okay, platforms for traffic. I'm not going to read through each one of those. You can see what those are. Um, you should do your very, very best to, be on each of those platforms and apps and methods that you see on your screen. Oh, by the way, we are recording this session, and within 24 hours, I'll send you a recording to to this session as a YouTube link, so you can fast forward, rewind to the parts that you want to hear. Any resources that I mentioned during this session, I'll send it to you also within 24 hours. All right. Uh, if you want to take screenshots of your uh, uh, screen or the slides, feel free to do so. But like I said, we are recording this. We will send it to you as a private link so that you can rewatch this session again. All right. I think that sounds fair. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good. So these are your contact methods. I'm not going to go through each one, but you need to know that the top ones would be, uh, your Facebook Messenger, your LinkedIn message, email, phone, SMS, and WhatsApp. Everybody uses WhatsApp. Yes, everybody has WhatsApp. Okay, okay. If you're trying to go outside of your own country to market your service, do you know that there are some countries that do not use that tend not to use, for example, WhatsApp? Okay, I'll give you an example. In the Philippines, in the Philippines, WhatsApp is less common. Um, People over there tend not to use WhatsApp. Instead, they tend to use Viber and Facebook Messenger, for example. Okay, so I've had clients, trying to hit the Philippines market, and then they say, "Oh, you know what? I cannot get them on WhatsApp." And then I take a look. Yeah, because they don't have. Or you have the last online or last seen like 2 months ago, right? I said maybe they have WhatsApp, but they're not using it. So you need to use Viber or you need to use Facebook Messenger. You need to use different methods of communication. When you use different methods of communication, it is not your preference, but it is their preference. If they prefer to use Viber, then you use Viber to talk to them. If they prefer to use WeChat or Line or WhatsApp or email or phone or SMS or Messenger, find out what their preference is and then use that method of communication to talk to them. All right? Okay, so the problems and challenges that we all have when we say you must go online, get on, get a digital funnel, do social media marketing. All right, these are the challenges that we have. All right, the first is creating content, isn't it? Like sometimes we don't know what to post, we don't know how to create the ad. So that's the first part, creating the content itself. Then the next part is creating the content consistently. Consistently. All right. How many of us post today and then tomorrow it's like, oh, I don't know what to post. Okay, I won't post tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, it's like, oh, I don't know what to write today. And then so you don't post today. And then you think, oh, I got to think about what I'm going to write, and then I do it in like 2 or 3 days, and 2 or 3 days come, and then before you know it, like 3 or 4 days have passed, right? And then you go, oh, I didn't write anything on my Facebook. I better write something today, and then you just um, uh, you and then you just write something, okay? So you must create content consistently. Very good, Dorothy. If you have a content calendar, all right. It takes work, to put that in or to create that content. Then you got to calculate your ROI for your budget allocation. Okay, we're all business owners here. We're all sales professionals here. All right, we need to know how to calculate the budget. All right, because sometimes I have clients telling me, oh, you know what, we put X dollars into the Facebook ads, and we get clients out of that. So then my question to them is, okay, what's your ROI? So for every dollar that you put in, how much do you get back? And then I have potential clients tell me, "Oh, I'm not sure, but I think we're making money." Or they say, "I don't want to put in more than this amount for a daily budget." And then but when we calculate, we see that for every dollar that they spend, they get $2 back. But they look at the budget itself and they say, "We don't have the budget for it." because they're messing up on their allocations. Okay, uh, if every dollar that you put in into example advertising on Facebook ads, for every dollar that you put in and you get $3 back, how much should you allocate for the budget? As much as you can, because for every dollar that you put in, you get $3 back, for example. All right. We also have this problem of answering quickly. Okay. How many times have you responded to a post from another company or another person? Okay. How many times have you responded to an advertisement? And then let's say you call, they don't answer the phone. Let's say you send them a message and then they don't answer you. All right. They don't answer you quickly. They don't answer the same day, and then the next day, you try to call, and then they go, "Oh yeah, you know, we must answer quick because now is the age of speed." All right. For those of you that know me, for those of you that know me, I make it a point. I will publicly say that I will answer your email, your message within 24 hours. Yati, can you unmute yourself very quickly for a second? Okay. So I will publicly say, right, Yati, I'll publicly say that I will answer messages within 24 hours. But I make it a point to do it within 2 hours. Yati, we've exchanged messages, correct?
Yes,
Okay. How quickly do I typically answer?
less than 2 hours.
Okay. Sometimes it's within minutes.
Yes,
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Yati. The reason I share this, I asked Yati to share with you, okay, is because we must answer quickly. All right. The other problem that we have is that we're not persuasive enough in our copywriting, in our conversations. We're not convincing enough. That's why you have things like, oh, you know what? I don't have the budget. I'm not interested. I got to check with my boss, check with my wife, and you get all kinds of excuses because your copy and your conversation is not persuasive enough and it's not convincing enough. And the reason it's not is because you keep mentioning what I call features, and you should be talking about benefits. All right? A feature is something that your product or service is. A benefit is what your potential customer gets out of it. I want you to take a look at your Facebook news feed today. All right, you're going to see a lot of offers. You're going to see a lot of things where people say, "Oh, I got this, buy from me." Right? I want you to take a look at that. I want you to see how many of those posts, okay, whether organic or ads, how many of those mention the benefit to you. How many of them will just say, "Oh, our product is this, and they'll do this," and it lists out the features. All right. I want you to take a look at that today, and then I want you to take a look at your own posts, okay, and see whether you're doing the same thing. Okay. The other problem that we have is in following up. Following up because we don't know what to say, we don't know how to do it, okay, and we often feel like we're bothering them, when we send a message, right? When we send a message, when we try to call them, they don't answer. It's like we feel like we're bothering them because we don't have the confidence, and we know inside that we were not persuasive or convincing enough for them to say, "You know what, Chris, I need this product from you, I need this service from you." So the days of your social media marketing or your digital funnel, it used to be that we could put a funnel up and then put some content, give them to a landing page, and then they take immediate action. The immediate action is they buy something, put in their credit card, use PayPal, whatever it is, right? Nowadays nowadays people take longer. All right. So let's talk about the kinds of buyers and some of the characteristics that that they have. Now, We have 4 or 5 different kinds of buyers. We have they look at this ad and they buy right away, or they take some kind of action right away. Then we have the next type where they look at the ad and they go, "I want this," right? And then something distracts them, and then they forget, and then they think, "Oh, I wanted to buy that. Yeah, who can I buy it from?" And then they go to your competitor. Okay. Then we got the ones that say, "You know what? I'm interested in this, but maybe I'm not ready now. Maybe I'll be ready next week or next month." That's the short term. The short term people, short term decision makers, right? Then you have the longer term. They say, "Oh, you know what? This thing, whatever your product is, this product, yeah, I don't think I'm ready now, but I think I'll be ready in, maybe 3 months or 6 months." Okay, here's the problem. If they think that they'll be ready in 3 months to 6 months, if you don't have their contact info, how are you going to get in touch with them in 3 to 6 months? If they don't give you their information, how are you going to contact them in 3 to 6 months? And if you're lucky, they'll find you. If you're not lucky, they'll find your competitor. Then, of course, we have the repeat and the referral. All right. So these are the kinds of buyers that you have. And my system that I'll share with you actually addresses all of these. All right. So you will never ever have to lose a deal. All right. Your product and your service. Look at the screen. I'm not going to list out say out everything. You need to address all of these things. All right. You need to address all of these things here. Okay. Now here's our full funnel. And well, actually, let me rephrase that. Here's our funnel lead flow. If you look on the left side of your screen, you're going to see that's where the intake is. Then the funnel itself is where we do things, we ask questions, we kind of filter out and we qualify, and then we sell to them. Whether we sell it by automated marketing, whether we sell by phone, by WhatsApp, by email, whatever it is. All right. At every step, they have to take some kind of action. And then at the end of the funnel, either they become a customer or they don't. Now, this that you see on your screen there, we can adapt it to pretty much any client, any service, any business. I'll show you an example. So the previous slide you saw the funnel flow, and this is how we customize it for a client. At every step, there's a call to action. At every juncture, there's something that either makes us realize that this is going to be a client or it's not going to be a client. All right, and so we can actually do something like this for you, for your business, for your product and your service. All right. Now, but let's talk about basic first. There are three basic components in a simple, straightforward sales funnel. Okay, we have the traffic, which is the intake, which is how we get the intake is from the Facebook ad, the Facebook post, the LinkedIn ad, or the LinkedIn post, whatever it is. That's where the intake is. So that's where the traffic comes in. Then we have the filter, which is the landing page. The landing page is where you collect information and data, not secretive, okay? But they have to say, you know what, this sounds interesting. I'm going to give you my name, my email, my phone number. All right, that's how you filter out. You see, there are some people that will make a decision immediately. There are some people that will make a decision in 3 days or 1 week. Once they give you their contact info, you can now follow up with them, whether it's on the phone or by WhatsApp, SMS, email, whatever the case is. So that's how we filter out the buyers from the non buyers. It's how we filter out the people that will buy now and the people that will buy later. Okay. Then we have the conversion. The conversion is where you follow up, send information, you nurture, you educate, you build a relationship, and you convert them into clients. Okay. Let's talk about the intake, the traffic. So we'll go over the ad or the post creatives. Now, I'm not going to read out the whole slide. What I'll do is I'll highlight I'll highlight two things. All right. The first is you must highlight a problem or a pain that your potential customer, your prospect, is possibly facing that they want to solve. Whatever your product or service is, you must realize that you either solve a challenge or you solve a problem, all right? Or you get them to gain some kind of pleasure, all right? Now, you must mention the benefits that they will receive, and you must have an extremely clear call to action. A call to action is, hey Chris, you like this? This is the next step that you should take. The next step can be buy now, give me your name, your email, your phone number, or fill in this form, attend an event, whatever it is. All right. I'll give you a visual example of a ad post, Facebook ad or LinkedIn post. All right. So these are just a couple examples of a Facebook. These would be posts. All right. You can also use video in your posts, which we do. So these are screenshots of videos that we do. Not that we do, but that we post on our social media. Okay. Then these are screenshots of organic posts that we've done. If you look at the color, if you look at the clarity of the pictures, okay, it kind of draws your eyes, right? Now, the next step is the landing page. The landing page is the core of the funnel. It's where everything happens and everything filters down into your landing page. Now, a landing page. Some people ask me, "Hey, Chris, what's a landing page? Is it the same as a website?" And a landing page is a simple one-page website. So yes, it is a website, but it's a simple one-page website that typically serves one purpose. That one purpose is to collect a name, email, phone number. If somebody visits any of our landing pages and all they do is fill in their name, their email, their phone number, I'm okay with that. I don't need them to buy now. If they buy now, that's great. If they buy next week, that's great. All right. The one purpose of a landing page is simply to get their name, their email, their phone number so that you can send them information and you can follow up with them. This is what's called building your database. All right. Now, there are several components in a landing page. The components would be, of course, the headline, the subheadline, maybe a video, the content, and then design is okay, but you can make your landing pages so simple. We create landing pages that take days, and we've also created landing pages that take literally 30 minutes to create. All right. The call to action is very important. And you and the person on the page that visits that page, they must know what is the next step. So I'll give you some examples of landing pages. The one on the top left, that one probably took us like 20 minutes to create. And more complex ones takes several days. But these are all examples. If you can see, one of the most common themes is some of them you cannot see, but they're a little bit lower. Most of them will have those boxes there, right? Name, email, phone number, name, email, phone number, because we want to get name, email, phone number. A couple other landing pages that we've done. On the right side, that particular one took us probably 10 days to 12 days to create. It's a one-page website, but everything was tested on it. All right. Uh, and the call to action is reserve the seat, buy the ticket. All right. But every landing page will have, and it must have, boxes for name, email, phone number. Okay. So on the landing page, you have to decide you have to decide, what do I want the visitor to do? What do I want them to do? Okay. You cannot say, oh, go to the store and visit, or buy this now, or attend an event, request. You cannot ask for too many things. The most that you can ask for is one to two. Ask them to do one or two things: fill in their info, click this link to visit this other your shopping mall or your booking page, whatever it is, right? This is your call to action. Okay, your call to action is asking them to take an action to go into the next step of your sales funnel. Now, the next step is the follow up, the education, building the relationship, and ultimately closing the deal. If you do not close the deal, then you have the choice of putting them into another funnel. Maybe the other funnel is a different product or service, or the other funnel is like a 3 month funnel where they've indicated that they may buy in 3 months or 6 months, whatever the case is. All right. So these are uh, the things that you must do in order to follow up to get them closer to making a decision to saying yes, I will buy from you. Now, we have a client in financial education. And this is before COVID, yeah, before 2020. So when they first approached us, so they're in financial education. Um, when they first approached us, they were not doing too well. Now, this is the sales and marketing sales funnel, the marketing and sales funnel that we created for them. Okay, before we did this for them, they had very few leads and prospects, and they only had a 10% closing ratio. Because of the 10% closing ratio, they only managed to generate about 10,000 in revenue every month. So not good, right? So I spoke to the owner and I asked him these questions. Do you really want better results in income? I asked all of you that at the beginning of our session this morning. Um, so I'm asking you now. You don't need to answer. Just answer in your head. Do you really want to get better results and more income? His answer was yes. If your answer is yes, then you must realize this. You must ask yourself these follow up questions of yourself. Do I have the right skills? Okay, these are the questions I asked him, and you should be asking yourself. Do I have the right skills? Do I have the right techniques? Am I taking the right action? Okay, so he agreed with me and he said, Chris, you're right. And so he said, okay, we proceed with this, right? So we did that, and after about 3 weeks, uh, pretty good results. These are some of the messages that he sent to me. During that time, his success rate jumped from a 10% closing ratio to 75 to 80%. Okay, uh, using that funnel, 75% success rate within 2 or 3 weeks. Nine signed up out of 12. A couple weeks later, okay, 81% closing ratio. All right. Now, when 2020 started, they should well uh, in 2019 they went from 10,000 a month in revenue to 130,000 a month in revenue. They went from a 10% closing ratio to a 75 to 80% closing ratio. All right. When 2020 started, they should have been on track to double that. But because of COVID, they were able to almost equal what they did in 2019. Maybe do a little bit better uh, last year in 2020 than 2019. The only reason the only reason they were able to do this is because of their consistent lead generation, getting the right kind of leads for them, doing their follow up, using their offline sales strategies to close the deals. So in 2019 and 2020 during COVID, they continue. In 2019, we turned them into $1 million company because they were doing 10,000 a month, and they started doing about 130,000 a month. So in 2019, they became $1 million revenue company. In 2020, they maintained being $1 million revenue company. I want you to ask yourself this question: what if you experience something like this? All right. Here's my offer to you. My offer to you is we will create an efficient, effective, and profitable sales and digital funnel for you, specifically for you. It's customized for you, your product, and your service. All right. From start to finish, it's customized exactly for you. We'll get the leads coming in, filtering them through your process, and getting through several steps to convert them into buyers. All right. This is not an automated magical cash machine where it spits out money. It's a hard-working, lead generating, and selling process where you also need to put in the work. All right. But it's going to be a lot easier than what you think, than what you have or what you're doing now. Remember, one of the first things we said at the very beginning of our session, if what you're doing now is already working, you'd already be successful now. Okay? Now, we have a couple options. Well, you have a couple options. The first option is you do nothing, change nothing. You do nothing, you change nothing, and you continue getting your current results. And when I asked all of you this question, are you happy with your current results? Current results, nobody said, "Yeah, I'm super happy with what we're doing now." Okay? Your option number 2 is that you do it yourself. All right? You can do this yourself because I did it myself, 15, 16, 17 years ago. But it's a constant evolution, and it's a constant revision. All right. It took me 1.5 to 2 years to learn how to do this back then. You can probably learn how to do it a little quicker now. All right. But looking at everything out there, because that's my business, right? I look at everything out there on how you can learn and do it yourself. I'm telling you, it's going to take you at least 6 months of nonstop learning. And if you take 6 months of nonstop learning, are you working on your business? You're not. That means your income drops, your revenue drops. So you can do it yourself. It's going to take you at least 6 months of nonstop learning, paying thousands and thousands and thousands, going through trial and error, wasting so much time, and at the end of that, hoping that it works. Or option 3 is you can get me, and within 2 weeks, you're going to have a complete sales system and digital funnel that will be ready to transform your sales results. All right. These are some of the other programs that I managed to find in the last few weeks. All right. Actually, the last couple months. These are, if I recall, these are 3-day virtual programs or 2 day. Yeah, they're both. Let's see. I gave one example. This is a 3-day virtual class that you can learn how to do what we're talking about. Okay, so they can compress that into 3 days, which to me is amazing. Amazing. All right. And what they're charging is about 2,400. 2,400. And then at the end of the 3 days, they let you go, and then you go out and do what you're supposed to do. All right. So this proves my point that option 2, you can do it yourself, but you're going to pay thousands to learn how to do it, and you're not going to get it right in 3 days. And the reason I know this is because I tried learning, many years ago, I tried learning this stuff in like 1 day or 2 days and 3 days. It takes time to learn and implement. So, my offer, this is what it consists of. Okay. We will create your Facebook post for 30 days in the proper structure. The reason we do it for 30 days, actually, it's like 5 days in a week, Monday through Friday, and we'll decide for your business if we do it on a Saturday and Sunday. All right. The way we do the structure, you can reuse this and change a few things because everything is structured. All right. We will do the your Facebook ads complete from the copywriting, the demographics, the your territory, your budget, the graphics, the video. We will get all that done for you. Now we will not do the video for you, but what we'll do is we'll do the video script for you. Okay. Video is very, very, very effective on social media. All right. We will do your landing page for you, start to finish. You just have to provide us the content. We'll tell you exactly what we need from you. Uh, we will copyright. I'm sorry. We'll do the copywriting and create the content for your autoresponders, for your messaging, for your calling script, because we do encourage that you call or you message. The leads coming in. If your product or service is appropriate, you will need to do a sales presentation. Whether it's on a webinar format, Zoom format, video format, we'll determine that together. We will create the sales presentation for you based on a draft that you do first. Okay. After your sales process or your sales presentation, whether it's on a Zoom or a one on one, like I said, we'll create that for you. You need to have a follow up as well as a closing script. Okay. So this is what we will do for you. All right. Now, the content that we put out, it has to look interesting. It has to draw attention. If we can do things like this for you. Actually, let me rephrase that. We will tell you to do things like this because we will not come to you and take the pictures for you. We will guide you on the graphics and the pictures that you need to take. If you look at the color, if you look at the action, if you're scrolling through your Facebook or whatever it is, right, and it's scrolling through, something like this will catch your attention. And that's what we need to do. We need to catch our prospects' attention. Okay. If we were to get you, I'm not saying that we can, but if we were to get you close to a 75% success rate or an 80% success rate, think about how that would make a huge difference in your business. Think about how that would make a huge difference in your life. Would it make a huge difference in your life and your family's life, right? So we get a couple other messages. Since we started, sales increased by 400%. Property line, insurance line. These are all results that we can get for you. Okay. Let's see. One more. Okay. So I like to share my final thought of the day for you. The first thing is that whenever you have communication, please answer your prospects, your clients promptly. The next thing is don't just rely on one client, one meeting, one deal, one avenue of getting prospects. You must have several. Okay. Um, if one channel breaks, for example, you still have other channels of bringing leads and prospects in. Don't just rely on one channel. In my company, in my business, we have several channels of leads coming in. We get a consistent number of leads and inquiries every single day. If you were able to get, if you in your business, you're able to get a consistent um, flow of leads and inquiries every single day, would that make a difference in your business? Okay. All right. So with that, here's what I'll do. We'll open up to questions and answers. Uh, and if you have questions, you can type your question. You can type your question, or you can, unmute yourself and you can ask me the question. Okay. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I specifically did not mention the price of this service because it does range depending on the complexity of your product and service. All right. But what I will tell you that it would range right about between 800 to 1,005 US. All right. Now think about this. All right. For 800 to 1,005 US, what you're going to get is a complete system, a complete starting system for you to get leads and prospects coming in and convert them into clients. And what would that be worth to you? All right. So what I will do is I will get in touch with each of you within the next 24 to 48 hours. And I'll ask you one simple question. I'll ask you one simple question. The question is, do you want to have a conversation about how we can do this for your company, your product, and service? All you got to do is tell me, no, Chris, I'm not interested. I'm happy with my low results. I'm happy with my current results. Or I'm gonna try to, try to do this on my own and whatnot. The next one, the next answer you can give me is not that, yes, Chris, I'm going to do this. You don't need to tell me that. You can tell me, Chris, can you explain more on what you can do, specifically for my business, my product, and service? That's all you got to tell me. Okay. If that sounds fair, just raise your hand or give me a thumbs up. If that's fair. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so now we've come to the Q and A portion. Uh, so, do we have? Does anybody have any questions? Actually, Dorothy, I have a question for you. When you say the content calendar, are you using a platform? Did you buy a service that creates this content for you, Dorothy?
Hi, Mr. Chris.
Hi, just
Um,
Chris is fine, Dorothy.
I just like Google up from actually from the internet, and then I managed to
Right,
find like few templates. And
right,
before that, like about 2 years ago, I attended like a social media um, um, training. So
sure,
from that, they also shared and they thought like, how do you do on daily basis? Like for
right.
me, having a hotel, but it's not a huge hotel. It's like about 30 rooms only.
Boutique hotel, right?
So it's
Where? Yeah,
in
which city?
um, yeah, my business are all in Kuching,
Okay,
Sarawak, those.
okay.
Yeah. Uh, so like for my hotel consultancy, I have like business partners, but that is based in Singapore and Indonesia. So
Understood.
like I'm focusing more into my own business, which is the hotel and pharmacy. So initially when we started about 8 9 years ago, the
Hmm.
business like every day, I mean the first like 5 6 months, of course I don't have any business because we just like
Of course,
started.
yeah. And now
Yeah,
again, right?
after that, almost every single day I managed to close like 100% of occupancy. So that means out of like 30 rooms, like 3 rooms we allocated for something else, so 27 rooms is functionable rooms. So pretty much every day for the last like before pandemic,
Hmm.
every single day we will close like 100%.
Right.
So but after pandemic, I mean this last 1 year, yeah, the business is like so it's
Yeah.
not so good. So what I only like started to pick up this content calendar since last year. I just like
Right.
started to schedule like one day we will just like do like posting of like our rooms. On
Hmm.
second day we have like maybe we talk about food. The third day we
Understood.
talk what is like sounded by like Kuching, the vicinity, the area
Hmm.
where the hotel is located, because we are
Sure.
located in the middle of Kuching city, so there's a lot of like other five-star hotels around as well.
Hmm.
So we have to find like a niche of like what we are good at it. So that's how like we do like 5 days, like every single day we do have a post, but then yeah, we schedule. So like Monday we start like about hotel rooms,
Understood.
so the next Monday will follow by hotel rooms, something like
Hmm.
that.
Understood.
So that's how we schedule
Okay.
and then do the marketing.
Okay. The scheduling is one part. It's good that you have a content scheduler because then you can create everything all at the same time and then just let it filter out daily. Correct?
Yeah.
So you do
Yeah.
do it. You do take time to create everything, and then you schedule it so that it goes out automatically every day. Correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Initially I did it for 1 month, but after that I
Hmm.
found it like it's like I'm taking too much of time, so I started to
Yeah.
schedule like 2 weeks basically, because in between, if let's say sometimes there's a events will be going on.
Right.
So
Understood.
I just according to the thing. But on like on Monday to Friday we already know what we wanted to post, so the content will
Understood.
be up there for 2 weeks. We prepare for like two
Hmm.
weeks
Okay. So let me ask you this question. When you post, what kind of action are you asking them to take?
um okay all our rooms, it's
Yeah,
like
but just a simple,
ideally.
yeah, just simple. What kind of action are you asking? Somebody sees your post, right? That you're doing every day.
Okay.
Somebody sees your
Okay.
post. Thank you, one. I will get in touch with you, okay? Somebody sees your post, right? What is the action that you want them to take?
To browse our website and also to contact us.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
if they browse your website, do you know who they are?
Okay. Most of our
No, no, hold on,
clientele
Dorothy.
are
Very simple. They see your post, and if
uh
they browse your website, do you know who they are?
yeah, roughly we know, but not to say exactly,
No, no,
but
no.
we know
How
our
would you know?
client
Okay, so
uh,
let me let's be
based on the
clear, Dorothy.
queries.
Okay,
Okay.
somebody sees your
Uh,
post, and
uh-huh.
they go to your website to browse around. Do you know who they are? Do you know their name, their email, their phone number?
Not exactly.
Okay.
Not exactly.
Um, if they do not contact you, if they do not contact
Okay.
you, do you know their name, email, phone number?
Email, yes, but
If they
not
don't,
their
if
name.
they, yeah, but if they do not contact you, so someone looking at your Facebook post, right? Somebody
Okay.
looking at your Facebook post, if they do not contact you, do you know their name, email, phone number?
No, I
Okay.
don't.
So what I'm saying is that your post, while you have a content scheduler, so that yes, you won't have the headache on posting content. What we would do
Okay.
for you is we would adjust the content so that we
Okay.
get them to take some kind of action. Um,
Okay.
because of course, we want them to book, we want them to call,
Yeah.
we want them to do
Yeah.
something, correct? But what if they
Yeah.
don't? And as you said, you have so many hotels in your area. What if they say,
Yeah.
you know what, I need to stay there, this hotel looks interesting, and then they say, I'm going to remember this hotel. And we all say those things, right? We all
Okay.
say that about different products and services. Then
Yeah.
next week we go, hey, I was going to stay in Kuching. Yeah, what's the name of that hotel? Yeah. And then what do? If you cannot remember the name of Dorothy's hotel, you will just Google hotels in, let's say, Kuching, and then you just pick one. But you see, you are the one that started that idea that they're going to stay in Kuching, but you gave the business to somebody else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What we
Correct.
need to do, yeah, what we need to do, Dorothy, is we need to capture the people that we get an interest. I'll give you an example. Uh, let's say this is how you want your landing page to be. Crabbing, right? Catch crabs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so when we catch crabs, we use that net, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, what we do is we put that net in and we wait for the crabs to come in, correct?
Yeah.
And what we think of your landing page as the net where the crab comes in and gets caught. You see, if the crab comes in and leaves the net, you never know. You got me
Okay.
so far?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So what we need to do in your case is we need to change the post itself to get them to take some kind of action. Uh, get them to we need to persuade and compel them to take a next step so that you can get their name, their email, their phone number, so that you can consistently get in touch with them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Correct. What you say is correct.
Right.
Yeah. It should be in the key. Yep.
Right. We cannot just like, hey, come stay at XYZ hotel, right? Because there will be people that say, yes, I'll stay there, then they call and then they book now. But what about the rest of the buyers that they want to do it, but they forget? Or they say, you know what, after lockdown. Or they say, maybe in 3 months. Or I got a business trip in September, I'll remember. And then they forget. So we must keep in touch with them. Your
Okay.
bookings would go, uh, uh, more consistent if we were
Okay.
able to create and attract the right kind of database. But I'll have a conversation with you about that in the next in the next 2 days if you're okay with that.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All right.
Okay. Do we have any other questions? Do we have any other questions for this session? AH, I still don't know how to call you, or is AH okay? Okay, so if Dorothy, Yati, do you have any other questions for me? Okay, awesome. So I want to thank you for sharing the time together with us on our session here this morning. Today is Tuesday. We have a full week ahead of us. I will be in touch with you in the next 24 to 48 hours, and I will send out this recording of this session. In fact, let me just stop it right now. Let's see.